With regards to this match, how much can you experiment? Because for better or worse, both sides really have. There's not a lot riding on this. You know, you've sealed top spot. Quins can't go down.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot riding on it because they'll have the motivation of their last home game, and they've got top quality players. You know, they'll be obviously disappointed with the last results they've had, so they'll absolutely come flying at us. We've got a lot riding on it as individuals. The players have got a lot riding on it. What they've got to say to us with their level of performance is that you can't leave me out of a semi-final. So I think there's an incredible amount on it. As far as developing stuff for the future and moving on, we don't really look at it like that. We've got a good quality side that we've got to try and beat, and we've done our analysis based on the opposition, and we'll try and perform to the best of our ability against them.
Quins have lost 4 in a row. I don't think they scored more than a try in any of those games. Are you surprised with the way that Quins have ended the season?
Yeah, look, because they've got a lot of players. You've got to say it's surprising. A lot of top quality players. You know, obviously things are happening in their camp. You know that will obviously be disappointing from their perspective. But we've got to focus on ourselves and make sure we're hitting our straps. You know, making sure we're performing as individuals. Then the collective team comes together as a result of that.
You mentioned the fact that players are essentially playing for places for that game against either Wasps or Newcastle. And when you go into that, is there a different sort of atmosphere than in the last couple of weeks? Because, you know, the home semi-final is secure, the first place is secure, but nobody's place in that starting 15, I would guess, is secure.
No, that's certainly the case from us as coaches. The important thing is to make sure the players are aware of that, because sometimes you can, you know, they're young guys as well, and they're human, and they can get carried away with that and think, you know, take things for granted. That's the important thing. We've just got to keep their feet on the floor and make sure that they are performing to the best of their ability now, because that's the best preparation for a semi-final. It's not going to be to just coast through this game and then hope we turn it on in the semi-final. We've got to be accelerating, and we're certainly accelerated in training. There was an intensity to training today that was better than last week, so we've got to keep that acceleration coming through the next week and then into the following week, and obviously then the semi-final. So there's plenty from our perspective, and I think the players are pretty aware there's plenty to play for, and that they need to perform on Saturday.
I've been chatting to Joe Simmons before, and he's had a meteoric rise this season. You obviously, you know, working with the attack and the backs will, I guess, work with him relatively closely. What is it about Joe which has improved and has made him so selectable in the last few months?
Well, the biggest thing is not necessarily an improvement in him. He's always been able to take the next step in his stride. Doesn't get over flustered with you know, big games and those sorts of situations, and he just keeps he's able to perform at that higher level when he has to step up, and that's probably his biggest quality. So he looks comfortable on the rugby field. He's got a lot of good players in and around him that allows him to do that, and you can't knock the way he's been performing. The best thing for us though has been also Gareth Steenson played fantastically well at Irish, came on and did a good job at the weekend. So we got 2 of them, you know, going toe to toe, and obviously you still got Henry that can fill that slot, but obviously Slady's form in the midfield has been great for us, and that's obviously allowing our 10s to perform so well as well. Indeed.
And finally for me, which would you prefer if you had a choice at the weekend, Ross or Newcastle in the top 4?
It doesn't really matter. They're both top quality sides. There's loads of different, they have different strengths and different weaknesses, so look, whatever we get, we'll prepare for that. Ultimately what we've got to focus on is making sure we get ourselves in the right place. Outside of that, you know, you're going to have to try and win it. You've got to beat the best teams, and that's what we'll be aiming to do.